Hello my fellow Canadians, my name is Kyle Parish. I'm an 18-year-old high school student from Rideau District High School in the small town of Elgin, Ontario, and I want to be your next great Prime Minister. Now I know what you're saying, Kyle, we just had a federal election, but my friends, we are in an emergency situation here. The last several governments have not been paying attention to what's going on in this country. We are in a position where we could become a weak, have-been country. We can't let that happen. There are major changes that need to be done socially, economically, and politically. What Canada needs is change. And I'm going to give you change. I've got a plan. Now, socially, Canada is in a bit of a situation right now. Right now, our cities, our communities, our society has been hit hard by job losses, mainly in the manufacturing area. In the manufacturing area alone, over 103,000 jobs have been lost in this last year. That's unacceptable, my friends. Why are these manufacturing jobs leaving? Because they want to get their work done cheaper. They're taking their manufacturing places to Mexico and China to get cheap labor. We can't let this happen. We have to put a program in place to try to grab these manufacturing companies back and get them reinvested into Canada. How can we do this? Our plants are the most energy efficient and green plants in the world. We can bank on that, and these companies will eventually come back and work for us on that. We also need to put a program in place to help the people that have been affected by the manufacturing industry's job cuts, either with tax breaks or with money being invested in to get these families back on their feet and start investing in Canada again. Also, healthcare. That is a big problem right now, and I am ashamed to say that the people we have just elected in the last election gave it a back seat in the last election. We can't have that happen, my friends. Right now, 15% of Canadians do not have access to a family doctor. Let me say that again. 15% of Canadians do not have access to a family doctor, which means no one to give them checkups and no one to help their kids when they're needed. How can we let this happen? We need to invest in our healthcare system more than we have been. One of the big issues there is that universities are not accepting enough applicants. Now, it's not because the grades are low. No, universities aren't accepting enough applicants because they don't want it. 60% of universities accept only the bare minimum applicants that they can take for their healthcare students. We need to make these universities take the maximum number of students they can take. And then we need to, more or less, make them go into the family healthcare system, not into the surgical field, because we need it in the family healthcare area. The big thing there, that'll cut down on wait times in hospitals and save money in the long run. It also has economic issues too. If you haven't noticed, we are in the middle of a global economic crisis right now, my friends. If you haven't looked at the TSX, it has been skyrocketing downwards for the last month. And there's nothing we can seem to do about it. So my plan is we have to begin to invest into the economy in different ways than we normally did. We have to look at the environment as being one of the main issues for it. Now, how can that be? How can the environment be part of an economic thing? Because our resources are tied into the environment. And we have to invest in that, my friends. First, I want to invest into green energies. I know it may seem different, but in the end, that's going to bring money in, because if we become a global leader, like we used to be, may I remind you that we used to be in first in economic green energy technologies until the last government came in. Now, we're at the bottom. So something went wrong there, my friends. We got to get back up to the top. And how we're going to do that is by investing in green technology, and then we can export that knowledge that we have to other nations that are developing, like China and India. That'll bring money into the economy. Next, we need to break free from foreign oil. I know that kind of may seem like we're going against the green energy thing, but in the end, that'll bring a lot of money into the economy because it breaks the trend of exporting our oil and then importing gasoline, where we're losing money, my friends. We can't have that. Next thing we have to do is, at the same time as breaking free, we need to take the money and put it into environmentally friendly technologies at the same time. We are looking to make a greener future for our people, and all the jobs in the future are going to be in the environment. That's where we have to look and focus to for our children. What we need is an electoral system similar to that of the representational system. One where, instead of those 1 million Green Party votes that didn't get counted for anything, we'll end up having a person in the House to represent those 1 million Canadians. Because the way it is right now, those votes end up being useless, those people's voices aren't heard, and that, it just, my friends, is not right. That's not what Canada was founded on. We also need to change up how the House works somewhat. We need to have seats set aside for Aboriginals. Now, I know they have the same right that we do. They vote people in, but we need to make it that they have a stronger voice, because right now their voice is weak, and our Aboriginal policies right now, they need some switching up. That's my plan, my friends. Now, I admit it's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of work and a leader that's willing to follow it through. I am that leader. Change is coming to the world, and Canada can either follow or it can stay behind. I want to lead Canada through that change. I want to have Canada a leader in the change and in deciding what's going to happen in the 21st century. Vote for Kyle Parish.